See, this solved example is there before exercise 1D. One of your friends has asked me to explain this solved example. Now, before I explain this solved example, I want you to remind the concept of polar. You see, I have a circle. If I have a point P, then from the through the P we draw secants, and at the extremities of these chords we draw tangents, and we go for locus of the point of intersection of these tangents, and it comes out as a straight line, and we said that that is nothing but polar of P. We said its equation is nothing but S1 equal to 0. We know that it is a first degree equation, so it comes out as a straight line. But if you remember, while discussing that concept that time, I mentioned that there is a logical compromisation in this concept. I did not elaborate on that. I'll tell you what I mean to say that time. You see, I want you to observe that locus means, by definition, it's an if and only if concept. When you say S1 equal to 0 is the locus, if you take any secant through P, if you draw tangents at the point extremities of the chord, the point of intersection of the tangent should lie on whatever you called as the locus. That is S1 equal to 0 here. Conversely, if you take any point on this, it should be seen as point of intersection of tangents drawn at the extremities of a chord that ultimately passes through P. Okay, reverse also you should see. But I want you to observe that for these points, you can see each point as like point of intersection of tangents, like that you can see. But observe that S1 equal to 0, as it is a straight line, you get this part of the straight line which lies inside the circle. Now for these points, if I take a point over here, how do you see this as point of intersection of tangents drawn to this circle? It cannot be. So when I said we are logically compromising, I mean to say about this case. Understood? But if I go technically without compromising with the logic, then I can't give equation to the polar in such a simpler way. So to give equation to the locus in a simpler way, they are compromising with the logic and they are saying S1 equal to 0. But the technical way of saying things is, if the point P lies outside the circle, then the locus of the point of intersection of the tangents drawn at the extremities of the chords which pass through P lies on S1 equal to 0, you have to say. You have to say lies on. Observe that the locus is only this part from here to this side and here to this side, but not this part. This part, it won't come on onto the locus. Okay, so actually the whole line is S1 equal to 0. These points, they do not belong to the locus. Therefore actually the locus is only the red portion, denoted in red color here. Okay, so they are compromising with the logic. Instead of saying like that the exact locus, they are simply saying S1 equal to 0. I hope you all understood this logic. Say some of you did not get it, then we can discuss more when we meet personally, but by the time you should know thoroughly the definition of locus. First of all, you understand the concept of locus first. Okay, so in this problem, in this solved example, he gave it in a more technical way. He said that actually show that the poles lie, the poles of those tangents with respect to the circle lie on this, he said. Okay, so this is how they ask without compromising the logic. Now if you compromise with the logic, the way you have set for equation to polar like that. Here what I can say is, rewriting this question, I can say that show that the locus of the poles of the tangents to the circle x square plus y square is equal to a square with respect to the circle x plus a whole square plus y square is equal to 2a square is y square plus 4ax is equal to 0. Your question, it goes like this if you compromise with the logic. Okay, so what we do is, sometimes some people are asking like this and sometimes some people are asking technically without compromising the logic like this. I want you to learn that even if somebody asks you like this, now you can simply go with the locus, the way many of the people treating the locus, like that you can go. Okay, so if I take any point here, locus means we start with a point x1 comma y1 obviously on the locus. So if I call that x1 comma y1 is a point on the locus, that means it is pole of a tangent to this circle. Okay, pole of tangent to circle. But first of all, let me draw that circle. The circle is x square plus y square is equal to a square. Okay, you have a tangent to this circle. Okay, and its pole is x1 y1. It's this line's pole not with respect to this circle. The pole, its pole with respect to another circle. With respect to, I have one more circle there. This equation is x plus a whole square plus y square is equal to 2a square. So pole of this with respect to this. So for this line with respect to this circle, this is pole means its polar with respect to this circle is line. So I am writing polar of this with respect to this circle. So if I write the polar, what do you get? Polar equation S1 equal to 0. So first, if you want, you can expand this, you will get x square plus y square plus 2ax plus a square you will get. So minus a square is equal to 0. Now writing polar of this with respect to this one, I'll have this equation only. Okay, that is s1 equal to 0. So what do you get? S1 equal to 0, xx1 plus yy1 plus a into x plus x1 minus a square is equal to 0. Now I want you to observe that this line is tangent to this circle. That line is tangent to this circle. So I apply that condition now. Condition for line to be tangent to a circle, you can put it in y equal to mx plus c form and then you can see r. Okay, I'll put in that form y equal to mx plus c form. So putting y equal to mx plus c form, I'll have it as y1 is equal to minus of a plus x1 into x. And I'm writing the constant part plus a square minus ax1 I'll have. Okay, now it is y is equal to minus a plus x1 by y1 x plus a square minus ax1 by y1. So this is y equal to mx plus c form and this is tangent to this circle. So the condition is c square is equal to a square minus ax1 by y1 whole square. C square is equal to a square into 1 plus m square. This is m here. 1 plus a plus x1 by y1 whole square. Now we simplify this. Observe that on the left hand side I can take one a common, I'll get a square out. I can cancel that. On the right hand side, if I take LCM, all that I'm having is clearing the denominators. I have this is equal to y1 square plus a plus x1 whole square I get. So sending everything to one side, I am getting y1 square plus a plus x1 whole square minus a minus x1 whole square equal to 0. Or this is nothing but y square plus, you can see this is like a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square, which is nothing but 4ab is equal to 0. Now simply write the locus of x1 comma y1 to get what you want. Okay? Well, look at these examples before exercise 1e. Now, in this problem, he is asking us to show that 4 common tangents are possible to these two circles, and also asking us to find the internal and external centers of similitude. Okay? Now what we do is, if you remember, we calculate 3 quantities, namely C1, C2, mod of R1 minus R2, R1 plus R2. We know that on the number line, obviously, mod of R1 minus R2 lies to the left of R1 plus R2. So after locating these two numbers on the number line, we check where C1, the number C1, C2 is going to lie. If this number C1, C2, if that is going to lie in this region, then we know that the circles are going to be like this. Or if C1, C2 is going to take this value, then we know that the circles are going to be like this. If C1, C2 value is going to lie in this region or here, then we know that the circles are going to intersect. If C1, C2 value matches with this point or here, which is R1 plus R2, then we know that the circles are, here the circles are touching internally, and here they touch externally like this. And if C1, C2 value is going to lie in this region, then we know that the circles are going to lie like that. Okay, so to decide the number of tangents, first of all, we should know the relative positions of the circles. Okay, so to find these 3 numbers first, let's jump into finding centers and radii. Okay, so the first circle, I'm writing the center. Center is equal to 7 comma minus 3. Okay, and for the second circle, the center is minus 15 comma 1. Okay, radius R1 is equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. Okay, so this comes out as 58 root 25, that is 5. Okay, R2, for R2 it is root of g square plus f square minus c. So I am getting this as 15. Now let me find C1, C2. I have C1, C2 is equal to root of 22 square plus 4 square. So I am getting it as root 500. Now you can see that on the real line. Okay, now let me see what is mod of R1 minus R2. This is 10. And what is R1 plus R2, which is 20. For fun, the 10 I'll write root 100 and the 20 I'll write root 400, and this is mod of R1 minus R2. This is R1 plus R2, and now I see that this is somewhere here root 500, which is C1, C2 value. So as C1, C2 lies in this region, the circles, they are going to look like this or here. That's how the circles are going to be placed. That's how the circles are going to be, and we know that in that case the number of common tangents is 4. So that is the first part of the problem. And for the second part of the problem, he is asking us to find internal center of similitude and external center of similitude. You see, we know that the external center of similitude or internal center of similitude, they are going to divide the line joining the centers C1 and C2 in the ratio R1 is to R2. This external center of similitude divides externally. Here if I apply the ratio, it's going to be 1 is to 3. So externally, so I'll take minus. Now you simply apply section formula here, you'll get your external center of similitude, and if you apply ratio 1:3 for this, then you get your internal center of similitude. I leave the problem there. Okay, this is a second solved example. This is similar to above problem. Let's do this problem. I have to prove that the given two circles have exactly two common tangents. Okay, let me first find the centers. C1 is 4, 3 and C2 is 0, 1, and radii r1 equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. So I'm getting 2. r2 equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. So I'm getting 4. Okay. So what is c1 c2? It is root of 4 square plus 2 square. I'm getting root 20. And what is mod of r1 minus r2? 2. r1 plus r2 6. This for fun I can write root 4, and this I can write for fun root 36. Now you can see that it's root 4 here, root 36 here, and the root 20, it is going to lie between mod of r1 minus r2 and mod of r1 plus, you don't need a mod here, r1 plus r2. Somewhere here I have root 20. So I know that in this case the circles are going to intersect like this. So obviously they will have exactly two common tangents. Okay, and we know that these are called direct common tangents. And he asked us to find the point of intersection of the tangents. So it is nothing but external center of similitude. External center of similitude. So how do you find this external center of similitude? We know that it divides the line joining the centers C1, C2 in the ratio R1 is to R2 externally. The ratio is 1:2 externally. So apply section formula, you will get your required point. Okay, let's move on to next problem. Okay, this is one more solved example before exercise 1E. Coming to this problem, he is asking us to find all possible common tangents to these two circles. So before I do that, I should know the relative positions of the circles so that I can understand how many common tangents are there. Okay, so for that, let's go for centers and radii. C1 is equal to 1, 3 and C2 is equal to 0, 0. And here radius r1 equal to root of g square plus f square minus c. I am getting it as 2. r2 is obviously 1. So if I write c1 c2, I'll get root of 1 plus 9, which is root 10. And mod of r1 minus r2 is equal to 1, and r1 plus r2 is equal to 3. So I observe that this is, for fun I write root 9, this is root 1. Okay, so I have here mod of r1 minus r2, which is root 1, and r1 plus r2, which is root 9. I have root 10 here. So obviously as C1, C2 lies in this region, we know that the circles are going to be like this. Okay, that means obviously they'll have 4 common tangents. Okay, now we are going to find equations of all the 4 common tangents. You see, the common tangents, to find the common tangents, first of all we need the centers of similitude. We know that external center of similitude divides these two in the ratio r1 is to r2 externally. Okay, and internal center of similitude divides the same thing in the ratio r1 is to r2 internally this time. Okay, now applying this, I'll get external center of similitude. External center of similitude. So what do I get? I get it is 1 by minus 1 comma 3 by minus 1. Now going for internal center of similitude, I'll get it as 1 by 3 comma 1. Okay, now I want you to observe that to find equations of the common tangents, see, I have two circles. Now I have these direct common tangents. Say the external center of similitude, I got it as minus 1 comma minus 3. Now to find the equations of these two lines, you can go with this circle or this circle. You can go with anything. Okay. Now for fun here, I'm going to follow the way he has done in the textbook. In the next problem, I'm going to show you how to do it differently. Okay. So in the textbook, he is going to apply for these two equations the combined equation of the tangents s1 square equal to s into s11. So if you want to apply that one, obviously taking the equation which is less lengthy will help us than taking the equation which is lengthy. Okay, I'm not talking about size of the circle here. I'm talking about number of terms in the equation of the circle. Okay, so I'm going with the second circle equation. Okay, you can see that whether I find common tangents from this point to this circle or to this circle, I'll get the same equations. Okay, so I'm going with this part. Let's go with that part. I have this circle as x square plus y square is equal to 1. And the point is minus 1 comma minus 3. So the equation to tangents we know that the equation is nothing but s1's combined equation. S1 square is equal to s into s11. So if I apply the formula, I'll get xx1 plus yy1 minus 1 whole square is equal to s into s is x square plus y square minus 1 into s11. So substituting, I'll have 1 plus 9 minus 1. So what am I getting from this? Expanding the square on the left hand side, it is x square plus 9y square plus 1 plus 6xy plus 6y plus 2x is equal to, on the right hand side, I'll have it as 9x square plus 9y square minus 9. So writing everything one side, I'll have 8x square, 9y square I can cancel, minus 6xy, minus 2x, minus 6y, minus 10 is equal to 0. Or cancelling a 2 throughout, I'll have it as 4x square minus 3xy minus x minus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay, now I got the combined equation of the tangents. Now I have to write the separate equations. Now this is what we have done in pair of lines in first year. We know that to write the lines given by this equation, first we have to factorize this part. So we observe that the factors for this part are nothing but x into 4x minus 3y. So we know that the lines given by this combined equation are of the form x plus n1 is equal to 0 and 4x minus 3y plus n2 equal to 0. Now to find this n1 and n2, you know what we do? We'll write this as product of these two things. So it is x plus n1 into 4x minus 3y plus n2 is equal to, I have it as 4x square minus 3xy minus x minus 3y minus 5. Now comparing the coefficients of x and y, first comparing coefficients of x, I'll have it as 4 and 1 plus n2 is equal to minus 1. And comparing the coefficients of y, I have minus 3 n1. On the right hand side it is minus 3. So I am getting n1 is equal to 3. So n1 is equal to 1 I am getting. Using n1 equal to 1 in this equation, I will have it as 4 plus n2 is equal to minus 1. Or from that I have n2 equal to minus 5. Now substituting these values of n1 and n2 here, I will get the tangents as x plus 1 is equal to 0, comma 4x minus 3y minus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. Similarly, you can find equations to other two common tangents. I leave that as an exercise to you. It's a very simple one. While finding the equations of transverse common tangents to the circle, once again, instead of taking this big circle, you take only this small circle. We know that this point is nothing but 1 by 3 comma 1. That's what we got here. 1 by 3 comma 1 we got. So from this point and to the same circle whatever we have taken just now. Okay. What is the circle we have taken? X square plus y square is equal to 1. To that circle only you write s1 square equal to s into s11 and then factorize, find the remaining two tangent equations. I leave it there. Okay. Now look at this problem. This problem it is similar to above problem, but the thing is, if you try to write the equations, combined equation of the tangents, it's going to be very lengthy. Okay, so to find the equations of the tangents, we are going to apply technique 2 here. Okay, so that is why we need to master the technique. It can be applied in such difficult situations also. Earlier we could simply apply s1 square equal to s into s11 formula to write separate equations of the tangents ultimately, because one of the circles was having very less number of terms, as the origin of that circle was, as the center of that circle was the origin. But here you can see that none of the centers is at the origin. So if you apply s1 square equal to s into s11 formula, it's going to be very lengthy. So to avoid all that, this is what we do. What I do is, as he is asking for the direct common tangents, we want external center of similitude first. So for that we have to find centers and radii. So first center is minus 11 comma 2 and the second center is it's 11 comma minus 2. Radius, it is root of g square plus f square minus c. So I am getting it as 15, and the second one root of g square plus f square minus c. So I am having it as 5. Okay. So we know that the external center of similitude, because direct common tangents, okay, it comes from these two by applying the ratio r1 is to r2 externally and applying section formula. So the ratio is minus 3 is to 1. Applying section formula, I will get external center of similitude. External center of similitude. What do I get? We'll have it as minus 33 minus 11 by minus 2, comma, it is 6 plus 2 by minus 2. So what am I getting from this? It is 44, 22 I am getting, there minus 4 I am getting. So we got our external center of similitude. Now take any one circle of your choice, anything you can go with, and then take this external center of similitude and find the tangents from this point to that circle. Okay, I am going with the second circle. You see, I have circle here and the external center of similitude here, which is 22 comma minus 4. Okay, and the circle equation is x square plus y square minus 22x plus 4y plus 100 equal to 0. That is circle equation. Now what I do is, this is where I'm going to apply technique 2. Okay, so for technique 2, if you remember, we start with any line passing through this point, any line having slope m and passing through this point. So I'll have that line as y minus y1 is equal to m into x minus x1. So from this I am having mx minus y minus 22m minus 4 is equal to 0. Okay, now we want this line to be tangent to this circle. Like that we are going to find the slope. Any line through this point is of this form now, having slope m, anything. Now we want slopes of these lines. So we find the slope of this line using the fact that this has to become tangent to this circle. Remember technique 2? So we apply the fact that if it is a tangent, distance from center to the line is equal to radius. What is the center of this circle here? The center is 11 comma minus 2 and the radius is 5. So distance from center to this line, I'll get mod of 11m plus 2 minus 22m minus 4 by root of a square plus b square is equal to radius 5. Now taking cross multiplication, first I'll have it as 11m inside plus 2 I'm getting here is equal to 5 into root of m square plus 1. Square it, I'll have 121m square plus 4 plus 44m is equal to 25m square plus 25. Or from this I am getting 96m square plus 44m minus 21 equal to 0. Now we have to factorize this one. Factorizing, we have it as 96m square plus 72m minus 28m minus 21 equal to 0. Or from this I can take a 12m common, a 24m common actually, so it's 24m into the remaining part is 4m plus 3, and here taking a minus 7 common, the remaining part is that. So I am getting m is equal to 7 by 24 or minus 3 by 4 I am getting. And now we know that these two are nothing but slopes of the tangents that we can draw from this point 22 comma minus 4. So this is one slope, this is one slope. Now you have point, you have slopes of these two. The slopes are 7 by 24 and minus 3 by 4. Okay, so you have slopes, you have the point, you can write equations of these two tangents. Okay, so I leave it there, and on these lines you can complete the entire exercise. Okay.